Welcome to Boy Time Podcast. We're gonna get litty time, yeah. Oh, it's your Boy Time Podcast. Coming in with the slam dunk of a theme song.
Hi ho ho, it's me, Wilbur Suit, back at it again with a new episode of the Boy Time Podcast. And as always, I'm joined by Babby, Paul, and Babjam.
I'll say it, that's your best intro.
Wilbur
I
Suit.
don't recognize Babjam.
I was not expecting that.
Usually I just pick someone who's trending on Twitter.
It's me, famous Minecraft YouTuber.
Wilbur Suit.
I was surprised I haven't used a Minecraft YouTuber up until this point, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I'll
Never
do
been.
that.
I like it.
But yeah, we got a pretty crazy week of news and things.
Yes.
We got guest star Babjab, best known for his appearance on the MGMT Boy Time Reaction channel video. It's probably our most viewed video, right under Kangaroo Jack. So
What's that at
And
nowadays?
Boy Time Podcast 108.
that's true. That's probably our third most viewed video.
Remember when we had random pods that would just get a lot of
Yeah, I'm
views?
trying to think of what the Alex Jones one was.
Which one was the fix your mics?
Ooh, that one's a
Zero
classic.
mics.
That one's like in the 40s or something.
Yeah, I don't
If you
remember.
guys ever make it big, you need to frame it and put it on the wall.
Yes.
I did use that comment in the second Vinyl Haul video.
Dude, we fixed our mics. I hope you're proud
It's a
of us.
classic comment.
I
I
know.
hope you're still watching.
But we actually have a lot of things to cover, so let's try to cut out the chit chat for Pete's sakes.
Yikes, chit chat.
But speaking of chit chat, how was everybody's weeks this week, huh?
Handy dandy.
Mine was awesome.
Oh,
I think I said that last week too.
You did.
Yeah.
probably.
Yep.
You usually do.
I usually have awesome weeks because my life is pretty great.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
I'm extremely jealous
Unbeatable.
at all
Yeah,
times.
yeah, you should be. Honestly, I just bought like some
jealous for me.
Bape, just on a whim.
Spape,
pretty
is it
cool.
2013? Cringe.
I
Sorry.
mean, Golf Wayne.
Okay.
Anyways, I think Paul had an update for us. Do Paul update.
Yay. Sucks I don't have my own theme song, but
Yeah,
you
you.
do what
I
you
just
do.
did
That's
it.
too much effort.
We've already done that theme song.
Huh?
I don't remember for what, but we've done it anyways. So we all know it's a Labor Day weekend,
As of us recording this, yes.
indeed. And so my close family and I, in other words, my brother, dad, grandma, grandpa, and my recently moved back here uncle, have decided, hey, we're gonna. It's been a while. It was like a while pre-COVID that we last saw my mom's side dad and, well, on my mom's side, my mom's a dad and a stepmom. Believe it or not, I have two stepmoms in my family.
I don't believe it.
Anyways, so we were like, we haven't really been in contact with them after my last time we saw them was at my mother's funeral this like July 23rd, I believe it was, or January. And we got in contact and we're like, hey, let's go on over, let's see what's going on. And they're like, okay. And so I actually drove one other person there with me because my grandma knew directions. Everyone else took a different car, but longest drive I've taken in my life so far, and it was great.
That's pretty fun.
It's only like an hour and 10 minutes.
Did you go
They
to
live
Grandma's
in
kitchen?
Exira, Iowa. No, we went the opposite direction of Grandma's kitchen.
Frick.
We did, however, have, I don't remember what the place is called. It was like Wagon. What is it?
Wagon these nuts.
Yes, dude. Let me see if I
Dough
can
wagon.
find it. It's
Yeah,
like,
dough
I don't remember what it was. It was a wagon something. It's like, it's just a burger place pretty much, but it was pretty good. I had a pretzel burger, and it was really filling. They had good fries, but it was good. And we had a nice Newsmax on the big flat screen TV to the right of me.
Ooh, that's fun.
Iowa, let's go. Actually, that was Adele, I think.
Oh,
I
Adele.
don't remember. Whatever,
Small
it was
town.
west.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so we got there, and so I was always wondering, because like my whole life, and they still are, they're incredibly religious people, and so I was wondering, I haven't really seen them too well in like 2.5 years or so, and now that I've gotten pretty into politics and stuff, I wonder, like, maybe we'll see if they're more like, I'm expecting them to be like, right wing Republican, but like I almost would put them evangelical, or at least I did beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
And I was curious, like, okay, so like everyone probably has like those couple people that are like pretty far right leaning in their big family usually, but
Mm-hmm.
and so I was curious, and we got there, and they're nice people. Like, I've known them my whole life, and like they're welcoming, nice. And so the first thing that happens is my uncle. He actually, while we were in, I think this is Brayton. It's a small, tiny town. There was a big sign that said it was like on a business, but it said I don't remember what it said, but it was like a pro-Trump sign.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of those, believe it or not, in
I
rural
don't
Iowa.
believe it.
And
I
so
would never guess.
my uncle showed my what do you call it, like grand stepmom,
Yeah.
and that image, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I have one of those."
Oh.
And so immediately I'm like, "Yep, okay." That's what I expected to live out in the middle of nowhere on a farm, and then all of a sudden, like a couple minutes later, someone brings up climate change, and she's like, "Oh yeah, that's a hoax," and it's like, okay.
Yeah.
So after that, we basically just talk for a couple hours, and it doesn't get too political, but like you get like the little like jelly beans of information. We learned that she's like anti like trans. Not, I don't think she was. No, she's probably anti-trans rights, and like,
She's a
well,
turf.
not like, sure, but
Okay.
like she's what you would expect from an evangelical,
Yeah.
like anti-abortion, like all this stuff, and yeah, and it's like, I don't know, like you always think like, oh, all these people are voting for Trump, like they don't know who they're voting for, except the abortion part, and because he's not a religious man, and it's like they vote for him usually for abortion, or like just because he's anti-establishment,
Mm-hmm.
and like these are really nice people, but being so Christian that they are, like they have Christian like stuff like all over their house. In their bathroom, they have a picture of like they just have like pictures in there of like Catholic stuff, and I don't know, religion just like it's fine to be religious, but man, it sucks when it like radicalizes people because of like, yeah,
Yeah. I don't think
like they're
that's.
really nice people.
It's not
but,
really
like,
religion, though.
Yeah, it's not like religion that does it.
Yeah.
It's the people that they're
Mm.
listening
Yeah,
to.
A
but
lot
I
of-
mean, like,
But a lot of rural America growing up, when there wasn't technology, you learned from the people around you, and the people around you are even more old school than you are.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of it is I don't want to say programmed, but it basically is like it's the people you hang around.
Well, yeah,
that's kind
like,
of forms
they
your life
live-
experience.
they live like a lot harder of a life out there, like on the farm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that, but I mean, like, people in like, yeah, they were like raised into like Catholic households. I'm positive, but like, the second like they started like hard believing it and going evangelical, and it's like, and then I don't know, is abortion? I could have maybe abortion isn't like a religious issue, although I'm
Yes,
pretty
it
sure
is.
that's probably
It
been. It
definitely
is
is.
okay.
It's
Yes,
the biggest
it-
religious issue.
I don't think I don't see many atheists being like pro-life for like no reason.
No, it is like the
Yeah.
biggest religious issue.
Because
more than
God created
LGBT
all
at
life
this point.
equal or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or something like that. or
Something like
Yeah.
that, except that if they're Mexican or whatever.
Depends which Bible you read.
Yeah. I think that's in Leviticus.
But yeah, like I don't know. It's just that thing of like these people that were like really nice. You grown up like yeah, you knew they were really religious, but like they're nice people. They got a cool farm. They get like a bunch of cats that are like running around. I think at one point they said they had like 60 cats that were like running around their lot, and then they would feed them. And yeah, it sucks like them going like so hard, right? Like they, yes, they weren't vaccinated, which we kind of found out a bit too late, and they, I'm pretty sure, don't believe COVID's that big of an issue. They're saying like, oh yeah, you can't trust the government. Like they don't want doctors. Like they don't trust doctors. Like
Well, I mean, really, COVID's probably not that big of an issue in rural Iowa.
No.
If there's
it
like
isn't.
700
Where the
people.
county they live in, I checked, it was like 48 cases. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, it's still 48 cases in a very rural county.
That
like,
is true. Yeah.
There's like 2,000 people that live there.
Yeah.
And they're all old.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because the step grandma, she has, like, she is healthy now, but she's had foot issues. She had cataract surgery on both her eyes. She's had, apparently, she had something where, like, she couldn't like sleep well for so long because she had like I guess the slit in her throat, she said, where like you breathe from like was incredibly tiny, and at night it was blocked by your tongue, which at night is your mind's basically saying, hey, wake up, you're not breathing correctly, and then you're trying to sleep and saying wake up, and like yeah,
I could see that being an issue.
yeah, because they're not the healthiest bunch.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, sounds like you had an eye-opening experience today.
I mean, I kind of expected like 90% of it. It wasn't really eye-opening, but
It's not, but it still takes you every time because you're like,
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
And like you have to play very careful to not accidentally get political.
Yeah.
Hey, did you hear about what's going on in Afghanistan? Oh no, I didn't mean to.
It didn't really come up much. Only like a sentence of it.
Yeah.
It's rough because they don't listen to you, and then if you do say something, you're further dividing,
Yeah.
family,
Well,
even
yeah.
though you are in the right technically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
'Cause I
it's
don't
up
know
to
about-
like where you stand and what you want out of a family experience, which is also kind of tough to realize because it's like, oh, these people are gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because
That's why you
like my
just don't say anything. And let them go.
Yeah. Or if you don't want to
Exactly what
go
we did.
anywhere anymore, you can just go off on them, and it'll probably feel a lot better.
Yeah.
So
You'll just be singled out, but
yeah, you'll be singled out and shunned for a little bit, most likely. But
that's why I just wait for Babby to open up, and then I'll chime in every like 20 minutes. And I'll be
yeah,
like,
no,
I'll
I've
feel
learned
accomplished.
I've learned to like go back because you have to talk to people very differently when you do that. Because I can go
yeah.
off like with you guys because you kind of have context of everything, but I like to keep decent relationships.
yeah,
We're hip
and
and
like
For now.
cool.
yeah,
Once I
as
move
said-
out, that's gonna be a different story. I'm gonna,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
as I
Come
said,
to the
they're nice
socialist
people.
rally with you.
yep.
I'd want to go back and see them again, even and talk. And like, I think we usually did Thanksgiving with them, and we might start doing that again. Like, I'm up to doing that, but
Yeah.
yeah. So that was fun.
It's a
That's a
lesson in
fun-
perspective.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. That's the takeaway.
Yes.
Speaking of taking stuff away, let's
Uh-oh.
take this show away to the news segment of the
Oh
podcast.
no.
I didn't expect to open with a deep
Speaking
psychological
of
take
taking
on
stuff
rural
away.
American politics.
I didn't
Taking
either.
stuff
You
away.
gotta
How about
expect
Stay
that?
tuned for a Drake review.
Afghanistan shenanigans.
start expecting the unexpected.
I guess we should probably do that from now on. Whenever we start the podcast, I ask if everybody has topics. Really, I'm just asking Paul if he has topics, and he said, "Yeah, I have something I could do." And it was a philosophical, political.
Every week we have to be, hey, did anyone visit their conservative relatives this weekend? This week?
No,
Every weekend of my life.
Who knows? Maybe next week you will.
I doubt it.
God, I hope not.
I'm like 2 hours away from them. I don't think that's going to happen. But let's get into the news for Pete's sake.
Who's Pete? Why is it
Pete
for his sake?
Buttigieg, the guy of transportation, whatever that is. He's the
Didn't he
guy.
adopt a kid?
He
I
has
saw
he
that
has
in the news.
twins.
Oh, twins.
Yep.
Nice. Congrats to him.
Yeah. Good for you, Pete Buttigieg.
I'm proud of you, Pete.
Uh-huh.
Show those kids how good transportation can be.
That's right. Take them on a train on the way home.
Yes, take them on the train.
But speaking of trains, we're
love
going to
trains.
take a train over to Venice, Italy, where the
Ooh.
Venice Film Festival is going
Bars.
on right now.
I like it.
It's going on now. There's only one movie that I really care about that's there. Well, two. There's the new Wes Anderson movie, but I don't know if that has been premiered yet. But the one that just came out today, that was available to everybody who had tickets, is Last Night in Soho, which is that new Edgar Wright movie that is coming out. I didn't mark down the date, but it is coming out in, I believe, October 29th, maybe.
That's right.
That's a Friday, so I'm gonna say that is it. That sounds about right. It premiered today. It has been getting mondo crazy good reviews, as expected, really. Edgar Wright being one of my favorite directors. I think one of your favorite directors also, right, James?
Yes.
Yeah. If you haven't seen the Cornetto Trilogy by now, it's one of the best film trilogies of all time. I feel fairly confident in saying that. So watch that.
Do you know?
Yeah. And watch Last Night in Soho when it comes out on October 29th, probably.
Is that going to be a theaters only release, or what are we talking?
I don't know. If I were to guess, knowing Edgar Wright's philosophy on theaters, yes.
That's what I was kind of thinking.
He has been very, very big in like fundraising for theaters over COVID. And like I know he's been re-releasing some of his old movies to try to get the theater industry back on track. I did go see his new documentary. I don't remember if I talked about this on the podcast, but I watched his documentary, The Sparks Brothers, in theaters.
I think we did talk about that.
Yes,
Maybe.
because Jack Antonoff is in it. I remember
Yes.
talking about that. Very good documentary. If you have a chance to watch it, I didn't know anything about the Sparks going into it. The Sparks, of course, being an apparently incredibly influential pop band from the 70s, 80s, 90s, ooze, 10s, and now. They're still making stuff, and their new stuff is just as highly regarded as their old stuff, which you never see really, unless you're Bowie or something like that. But yeah, I would recommend that documentary. And I saw, why can't I remember his name? We were just talking about him yesterday. The Mad Max guy, Happy Feet,
Happy Feet looking dude.
George.
Soros.
Not. I was gonna say Orwell.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Frick.
George Happy Feet. That's what we'll call him.
I don't want to. I want to give the guy credit. George Miller.
There we go.
George Miller. He is working on the sequel to Mad Max. Well, no, I think this is a prequel actually to Mad Max Fury Road. For Charlize Theron's character in that movie, she's getting her own prequel called I don't know if it's going to be called Mad Max Furiosa because, as I understand it, Mad Max is not going to be in this movie.
Madder Max.
Madder Max.
He's
Actually, this
mad.
would be kind of like a more timid Max.
Pre-Mad Max.
Just a cool guy, Max.
Pre-Max.
So Tom Hardy is probably dead to George Miller. But
I
I thought that Charlize Theron was going to be in it. That is apparently not the case because George Miller saw Last Night in Soho and immediately picked up Anya Taylor-Joy, who is not the lead actress in that movie, but apparently a very prominent supporting character in that movie. So I guess that goes to show how good she is in that movie. I've also heard good things about Queen's Gambit. So apparently she's the new up and coming star, I suppose. So there's that. That's it for movie news. I just wrote that like a couple hours before we started. But let's get down into the meat and potatoes, okay? We're going to do gaming and then show news. We're going to do a little bit of a season 2 breakdown of Ozark because we just finished that this week. And then, as I understand it, you know, in my very limited knowledge, apparently there's some music news going on. Apparently
Nah, that
Drake
can't
did some fun stuff. I don't know.
can't be.
But that's a little bit of a
Define
preview.
fun.
He did some fun stuff.
We'll get to that.
So, in terms of gaming news, not a huge week, not like last week or anything like that. But we did get some announcements of announcements. I know we're getting kind of tired of that, but that's what we've got coming. We've got a new PlayStation Showcase happening next week. That is next Thursday, September 9th at 1 p.m. Pacific. For those who don't know, those are like the PlayStation Nintendo Directs. They don't do E3 or any conferences anymore. They just do all online stuff. So this is going to be apparently showcasing a number of PlayStation 5 games that are going to be releasing holiday season and beyond. This means we're probably going to be getting, I would say, 100% chance of the new Horizon Forbidden West, 75% chance God of War, and then a 1% chance of Sly Cooper 4.
Last of Us 3.
Last of Us 3. And then Naughty Dog is actually going to be making Clay Fighters 4D. It's actually pretty crazy how they're really advancing. And I think they said that they aren't going to be showing any PlayStation VR titles. That was the only thing we got in terms of hints of what's going to be there.
Dare they know PSVR?
Well, I think they usually keep those separate,
Probably.
if I were to guess.
Probably.
But speaking of PlayStation news, this actually just dropped like 45 minutes before we started. But Horizon Forbidden West, which is that squeakquel to Horizon Zero Dawn, is getting a free PS5 upgrade if you buy it on PS4. Similar to the Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and I think Sackboy was also like that. I think originally they were saying you were going to have to pay like $20 or so to upgrade it. And they got so much backlash, they were like, okay, fine, you babies. This one's going to be free, but from now on, it's going to be $10. So I guess we'll see how that goes.
That literally sounds like a company.
Yeah, it sounds like a company. Fine. So we'll have to see. I know God of War is also supposed to be PlayStation 4 and 5. So we'll see how that upgrade goes. If they're going to make that free, I could see Santa Monica kind of putting their foot down and, you know, making it free. But it's Sony. So we'll see. But out of the Sony basket, going back to Warner Brothers, DC Fandom is going to be happening again this year in October. Not going to be a whole lot of good things, but there are some things that I'm excited for. I'm sure that we're going to be getting new Batman trailer, maybe. That's supposed to drop next year. and we haven't gotten a trailer in over a year at this point. So hopefully we get something there. But in terms of video game news, we'll get back to the other things that have been announced. Both of those Arkham games, well, I'm not Arkham games, but the like spiritual successor of Arkham games are getting another peak. Those being Gotham Knights, which is, I believe, Warner Brothers Montreal is making, which they made Arkham Origins, which not the best one, and it's not even a part of the trilogy, so you don't even have to play it. So they're making that one. That's the 4-player co-op one, where you play as all of the Bat kids, so Robin, Nightwing, Batgirl, and Red Hood, and it seems to be like almost like a Destiny, but in Arkham. I don't know if it's a looter shooter, but there's like a lot of RPG elements and things that weren't found in the original Arkham games. So I'm a little bit skeptical of that one, if I'm being honest. But that one was supposed to drop this year. They delayed it to next year. And then the one that was supposed to come out next year is Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, which is developed by Rocksteady Studios, who made the Arkham trilogy. And this one I'm a little bit more hopeful for. This one is another 4-player something. We don't know any details about the gameplay. It was just a story trailer last year. Hopefully we get some gameplay or something. But that one, I think, is Harley Quinn, Deadshot, I think Captain Boomerang, and then you get to play as King Shark from the new Suicide Squad.
I love King Shark.
I hope he's voiced by Sylvester Stallone in this game, otherwise I'm going to be pissed off.
Yeah, you are.
So I think if I was a betting man, I would put more chips into Suicide Squad game, even though I am a little bit, I'm a little bit angry that they aren't making a single player game, because if I were to guess, no one else here is going to be buying either of those games, so I'm going to be playing these stupid co-op games by myself. So that will be a little bit unfortunate. But I know like some people, like I saw Alana Pierce, who is in Funhouse. She kind of broke down the Suicide Squad trailer, and as soon as it was announced that it was a 4-player co-op game, she was just like, "Oh fuck, yeah, that's so bad." And I kind of felt similarly. So we'll just have to see how that goes. That's going to be a DC Fandom, whatever, which is the beginning of October. And then we're going to kind of transition into show news with what else has been announced for DC Fandom, which I actually wrote down the date as October 16th. So good job, me. James Gunn announced a spiritual successor to the Suicide Squad that he made. Is going to be in the form of a show entirely about Peacemaker, who is John Cena's character in that movie.
Should have been Pete.
Pete, I hate to break it to you. Spoilers for the Suicide Squad. Pete Davidson dies in like the first 5 minutes of that movie.
I'll never watch the movie.
His whole character is literally like, "Hey, I'm Pete Davidson," and then his face gets blown off.
It's probably the best part of the movie, if I'm being honest.
I cried.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, and I'd agree.
It was really funny. It's a good movie if you haven't seen it.
Make me watch it.
You can't tell him to watch it after you just told him Pete Davidson died immediately.
That is true. You did spoil it for me.
It's like it's the first scene.
Yeah, I can't have first scene spoiled.
He's the best part of the movie, though. It's like, come on.
No, John Cena's the best part of the movie. Well, actually, I don't know if I could say it. There's a lot of like best parts of them. I'm very glad that he's going to be getting his own show. I was a little bit worried when I saw the after credit scene of the Suicide Squad. No spoy boys, but I was a little bit worried when I saw that. And then, you know, this gets announced, and I'm like, okay, I can see what he was doing. And the show is written by James Gunn, so that's good. I don't know if he's going to be directing. I'm sure that each show is going to, or every episode is going to have a different director. But it is going to be exclusively an HBO Max thing. So, a part of that Warner Brothers deal that went about a year ago now. So that's going to be at DC Fandom. So those are the things that I'm excited for. Batman, gaming, and that. I think that's it. And Aquaman 2. I'm just a big Amber Heard fan. Yep. In other show news, you know, I don't have to talk about this every time there's news,
Really?
but I really do. I always do. The Last of Us pilot has officially stopped I am suffering. The Last of Us pilot has wrapped filming, I said.
Bars.
The pilot's director announced on Instagram. So I saw that and I thought that it was the entire show wrapped. That is not true. Well, at least I don't know if it has.
Fake journalist.
But the first episode has. So,
Oh, goody.
I mean, they're making progress on it. They're definitely breaking ground. 1 episode down, 9 to go, I guess. If
Breaking
that's how
down
many
bears,
they're
let's
doing.
go.
So that's exciting. That will come out eventually, probably. I hope we get a trailer of that at DC Fandom.
Oh,
That would make absolute sense.
Yeah. But that's all the news I have this week. But
oh, we gotta have more than that.
well, that's it. We have
I'm
some.
gonna make up for it. So
Yeah, we got
Let's
some
go.
more music news.
we
but
got to do Ozark first.
Oh,
Before we
that's
do
too
that,
much.
let's get into Ozark. Because we got to talk about some things. Ozark Season 2. Thoughts, opinions, better or worse than Season 1?
I say better.
Okay, that's a bold move. I think quality is consistent.
Yes. I think it's better than Season 1.
Okay.
Okay, good. I'm not the only
You know,
one.
honestly, I don't really remember because we're 4 episodes into season 3, so I don't remember
That
what
is
was
true.
season 2 and what was season 3 at this point. The show is not dipped in quality. I would say there's a little bit of an improvement.
Yes. I would say almost everything about it is perfect.
Yes.
Almost. I think the one thing that's holding it back is that it is not very technically. It's not doing anything fancy. It isn't like doing anything like Mr. Robot.
It's a drama. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're not being experimental and stuff.
Yeah.
They've gone the drama Walking Dead route where it's like, you know, the characters. These are really well-written characters. We don't need to get crazy.
Yeah. I just could do with some more Flash.
Yeah, it would be cool.
Because I think the show reminds me so much of Breaking Bad, not in like the content, well, a little bit in the content, but just like in the overall vibe. It's just like a family
Character
drama where the
development
characters are criminals, just in that vein. But Breaking Bad and Saul, for that matter, have a lot of like stylistic things. There's a lot of like weird montage-y stuff. They do a lot of like through the glass pane shots, which we always like to point out when we watch that show. But it does leave a little bit of an imprint where it's like, that's a Breaking Bad shot, or like something that's distinctive. Ozark doesn't really have that. The only thing it does have is that everything is blue, except when they're in Mexico. And there's a lot of Radiohead music in it. Although I do like that they've been getting more copyrighted music as the show's been going. Season 3 has definitely had the most. They got like a lot of REO Speedwagon.
Biggie, REO, Radiohead.
They got Wu-Tang.
Oh yeah, Wu-Tang.
Yeah. So and that's just in the first 4 episodes. So, and they got some like Spanish metal, but I didn't know what that was.
I didn't pick out what that was.
I'm not well versed, unfortunately.
Yeah, not well versed in Spanish metal.
Yeah.
How could you not be?
It's kind of a blind spot for me.
Yeah, it's the one thing I haven't really checked out yet. But I think in terms of writing, fantastic. Even just in dialogue things, I think the Snells probably one of the highlights of the show for me. I
For sure.
really, really, really like their performance, whoever they are, because I think I mentioned this in the season 1 review or little retrospective thing we did. This show is like not star-studded at all. They got Jason Bateman and Laura Linney, and that's it. Like pretty much everyone else is underground. I've never seen anybody else from this show and anything else. I think the chick who plays Ruth is started to get picked up in other Netflix projects. But I don't watch very many of those. So, but that is not a detriment to it at all, that they aren't hiring Robert Downey Jr. or Todd or whatever to be in it.
I'm stuffed. I would love to see Todd. I love him.
I love him so much. It would be great to see him. But even like in season 3, which we aren't going to talk too much about, they're starting to introduce new characters. And even as this show has kind of snowballed and gathered its clout, where it could easily get like someone where it's like, whoa, they got Todd, or like someone like Bryan Cranston. I'm just using Breaking Bad people. But,
Really
you know,
dumb.
if they got like some like A-list TV star to be in it, they easily could, but they don't. And they just get like nobodies. But they are all great actors. So I don't know why they aren't as big as some of their counterparts. Even Jason Bateman, who is like, I think the biggest star. I know Laura Linney's been in plenty other things, but Jason Bateman has definitely been in more things I have seen. Sometimes he's like one of the least impressive parts, and that's saying a lot because he's great in this show.
Yes.
But in the second season, we got Cade Langmore, Ruth's dad, and Agent Petty, who's the FBI agent kind of investigating their shindig and stuff, become more present, an active antagonist. And since Dell, their cartel kind of handler, was murked at the end of season 1, I guess, spoilers.
It's always after he says.
I know, it's literally always after
Come
he
on.
says something.
Well, we're talking about season 2. If you haven't seen season 1 yet,
Do I have to watch season 1 to understand season 2?
yes.
Dang it.
Yeah, what? Why are you asking me
The
that?
preceding storyline to finish a later event in the storyline.
Do I have to listen to Andre 2999 to understand Andre 3000?
Nah,
Yes.
you good.
Got some homework to do.
97 isn't canon though.
Yeah, 97. He's kind of bad at his job, frankly. I know some people put him on like the top 50 rappers of all time, but frankly, I would
would
put
be
him
me.
closer to 390.
324.
Rough estimate.
Yeah,
Rough
of course.
estimate.
Off the dome.
But spoilers, Del Rio gets murked at the end of season
What?
1. I just said it.
Kidding me?
Didn't give me time to mute and
Guile.
deafen myself.
I'm sorry.
I'm not gonna watch the show now.
I'm sorry.
it's
You
completely
should. It's very good, and
really-
you're probably not
What's the
going to
point?
remember this.
What's the
I don't even remember characters' names, so I think you're good.
We got Helen Pierce introduced in this season, who is the main boss cartel guy's lawyer.
Girl boss.
Girl, she is the definition of
Does she
girl
slay?
boss.
Just like,
She do slay, if you catch what I am saying.
I love
She
that
slay,
Good.
girl.
Oh, you mean she murders people?
Yes.
She works for the Mexican drug cartel. Yes,
That is
I do love me
slaying,
a
girl.
good girl boss.
she's a good girl
She
boss.
slay.
Not like good girl, comma boss, like good, comma girl boss.
I got you.
didn't need to clarify.
No, in fact, the fact that you clarified made it a little bit sus.
Yeah.
I'm just making myself clear. I think you're sus for thinking I'm sus.
Oh,
Don't turn the tables.
Emergency meeting.
Just fight.
Hitting the button.
What was that? She's introduced. This show kind of has a chronic symptom of introducing antagonists that only last a season.
I've noticed that.
Spoiler alert.
You don't need to overdo it now.
I'm just covering all my bases.
Okay.
Because season
Yeah,
2,
sure.
they introduce all these antagonists. I think I listed 3, even though the second one was in season 1, but he wasn't as big a player, I think, as he was in season 2.
Wasn't a player.
And 2 of them get murked by the end of the season. I won't say which 2 because I don't want to get yelled at again. But
I mean, you said spoilers now, so you're good.
oh, okay.
just
Cade
have to say
Langmore
it
gets
prior.
murked, and Agent Petty gets
Whoa.
murked by Cade Langmore. So
They/them were my favorite.
He's the first one.
Whatever that is.
they were not anyone's favorite, I don't think. Agent
They were
Petty.
your favorite. You have issues.
I think Agent Petty was a good character.
Oh no, I hated that character.
I think he was
Well written,
well
but-
enough written.
Yes.
I think his
No, he was
motivations
written
made
really well. I
sense.
just hate him. Which is
Oh, he is a bad guy. I think I think the show is extremely smart and like everybody's bad. Like I don't know if there's like one like good-hearted person besides Mason, but well, we can talk about that episode because I think that's one of my favorite episodes of the show so far. But no one is really good. Even, well, I was going to say even the FBI agents are bad, but that's just real life. Well, the cartel, I think the cartel is probably the worst. You know, when the show starts, you're like, oh no, Marty Bird is just trying to like save his family, like by laundering all this money for the cartel. He was probably forced into it. And as the show goes on, it's like, oh, he's just doing it. He's a bad guy, and he doesn't really care who he puts into way, even though he kind of fronts and is like, oh, I'll do anything for my family. I just am trying to save everybody. And then he just like walks into a business and is like, I'm going to put you in direct risk of being murdered by a Mexican drug cartel. It's like, oh, okay. He's a bad guy.
You do you, man.
Yeah. This was also the season where we saw Jacob Snell get absolutely bodied. Very sad, because I think Jacob Snell is a
Very
nice
sad.
guy.
Very sad.
He just killed people on accident. And that, well, on
Yeah,
that
just
one
an
time,
accident.
it wasn't
Yep,
an accident.
Just an accident.
It wasn't an accident that one time, but then that other time that he did it, well, it was his wife that did it.
Debatable. Not an
That
accident.
one was ironically.
That was ironic, and frankly, I think Jacob Snell. I'm gonna add him to the list of good portrayals of lawful evil characters, because you hardly ever see that, and it's like one of my favorite archetypes. I think the only other time I've seen it well is in Godless. His name is not Jeff Dunham. Who's that guy in Dumb and Dumber? Not Jeff Dunham.
Just Dunham was lawful.
Who's that guy in Dumb and Dumber that is not? Wow, I can't think of anyone's name right now.
And Carter.
Who's the guy who makes funny
Who's
faces?
dumb and who's dumber?
Will Ferrell.
No, not Will Ferrell. Truman Show, The Mask, Batman
I know
and
you're talking
Robin.
about. I don't know his name.
You don't know his name? For
Am
Pete's
I supposed
sake.
to?
Yes. I'm gonna look up Dumb and
Do
Dumber.
you know who I am?
You know this guy. It's
I
Jim
do, I don't
Carrey,
know.
you stupid
Carrey.
idiot. I'm
Yeah, I guess
surprised.
that is Jim Carrey.
Yeah, that is Jim Carrey. Jeff Daniels, who was also in Dumb and Dumber, he was the main antagonist in Godless, which was the Netflix limited series that was a Western, and it is one of the best lawful evil characters I have ever seen in anything ever. I don't think Jacob Snell beats it, honestly.
Whoa.
That is a G-dang good show. And it has Scoot McNairy in it, which always gets a plus from me. He was also in season 3 of Fargo, but spoilers, He gets bodied in the first episode. So that's why season 3 of Fargo is the
Dang
worst
it.
season of Fargo.
I'm not even surprised because that happens. I'm just surprised he said spoilers before.
That's true. Even though he gives no time, he's just like spoilers.
I said spoilers and left a gap
Spoilers.
in time.
You'd have to have like the reaction time of a cat to like be like, oh geez.
Just press K if you're on a keyboard and mouse. That pauses the video. Spacebar sometimes sends you to the bottom of the page. It's a little bit of a life hack I've learned.
It's not a life hack.
Life hack. Inconvenience.
Yeah. Yeah, but season 2 ends. The whole time Marty and his family are working on getting this G-Dang casino for the cartel so that they have this legitimate operation that they can front and they won't have to rely on third-party businesses that they have to needlessly put people's lives in danger. So then they're like, if we can just put up a casino, we can combine the Snells, who is the local drug producers, that we can distribute drugs on the casino. We can funnel illegal drug cartel money through and launder it. And we can work with the Kansas City mob. We can have them construct the whole G-Dang thing. They can launder money through that. And they get to pay their union guys. So it's like a one big win-win-win, except nobody ever follows through with anything, and everybody is angry at everyone all the time.
At least union guys get paid.
The union guys do get paid. That is the one good thing that comes out of this.
But they are part of a mob, so
They are part of the mob,
it's
so
a union
you know.
mob. It's not like an actual,
It's like the Teamsters or
Yeah.
Jimmy Hoffa or something like that. But yeah, of course, Darlene Snell, being that traitorous bitch she is, just kills everybody. And she is so crazy. She just wants a baby, even though she's like 70 years old. I hate
that is
her.
the first character in a long time that genuinely makes me scared whenever she's on screen.
Oh, yeah.
She's so well written.
Mm-hmm. And I
She
meant
is the murderous, scary girl boss, heroin, crack addict that we've always needed.
I don't think she's a crack addict.
She looks like a crack addict.
She does look like it, but she just makes heroin. That's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can use your own supply if you want.
She's definitely used it a few times, you can tell.
Yeah. Well, she drugged her own supply. She
True.
she
Okay.
did do that. Yeah, I mentioned this in the season 1 retrospective. I think the Snells are like absolutely perfectly cast.
Yeah, they're great.
We didn't really see much of Darlene's darker side in season 1. She did rip out Mason's wife's baby out of Mason's wife. I don't know if we ever know her name. But she basically kills Mason's wife and then does an impromptu C-section. And then, baby is out, but wife is dead. And then Mason's like, I'm going to go sicko mode. And the show ends or season 1 ends with Mason like trying to drown his own baby. And it's like, oh no, this is so
He's
sad.
baptizing him.
Well, that's not what he was doing.
That's what he was doing.
It's just
No, it was not.
Just some tough love, surely.
yeah.
Baptisms are like a couple seconds. You just dunk them and then pull them back
It
up.
was an extreme baptism.
That's not.
You
That's
wanted
not
to
what
make
that
sure he
was.
was extra holy.
Do you guys know that video of that Orthodox priest who takes the kid and just like dunks
Yeah,
him?
Yeah, dunks him
Like
like
that.
7 times.
Yeah. We gotta
Yeah.
make sure this one's extra holy.
It was like
he's
that.
He's got something with him. I don't know.
But yeah, it was like that, except it was like it was like for 40 seconds. I don't know how that baby didn't die, if I'm being honest. But he pulls him out, and then the baby's
Power
like,
of
I'm so
Christ.
sad.
You see, the whole point is that it does die, and then it sees God, and God's like, yeah,
Nah, you ain't
He'll
done
do
yet.
good.
Go back there.
You ain't done yet. We need you for season 3.
Yeah, we need you for season 3.
you ain't done yet. God will bring you back alive. Don't worry.
Yeah. And he does, so that's good.
Good job, God.
And the last thing I want to talk about is that G-Dang Mason episode.
That makes sense.
I think this is probably the highlight of the show so far. In a show that is consistently great, this episode is fantastic. This is the Tarantino episode of Mr. Robot. of this show, I think. Not a stylistic or anything like that, because that is the one lacking point of this show. But this is the show, the episode where everything just goes off the fucking rails. Where, you
Think
know,
of one pod without a swear. This guy.
I already swore this episode.
Oh, okay.
We
Point proven.
point proven. Everything seems to be going on track. For the past couple episodes, we've been kind of going through the motions, getting this casino all worked out and some problems. There's all this interpersonal drama, yada yada. Just typical Ozark BS, for Paul's sake. Just going through the motions. And then this one episode just flips everything on a dime. We had seen Mason throughout this episode. Of course, in the first season, he was this devout preacher, a good-hearted person, essentially. Of course, we all have our demons, but we didn't really know what he was capable of until the birds pretty much ruined his life. Gets his wife killed, has his infant son given to him, but Mason lives on the streets at this point, basically proselytizing on the corner. It's his only job. He lost his church. He lost everything. So he decides that he's going to kidnap Wendy, Marty's wife. And basically, just everything, the whole rhythm of the show basically grinds to a halt as this whole event has to transpire, where like there's moments where Wendy's trying to like coax Mason and be like, oh, you everything that happened to you was so bad, we can help you out, we can give you money, we can do all these things, we can make sure that your baby's put in a good home and stuff, and just all this stuff, but she's just trying to get out of there. And also Wendy is an evil, lying, bad lady. And while that's going on, Marty's doing all this fun investigative work. But of course, the ending is what I really want to talk about, because at the end of the thing, Mason gets his son back. His son had been taken by child services, which is what sparked this whole thing. Gets his son back. Marty gets the son back. As he's trying to free Wendy, Mason comes back down, gun loaded, and is like, I want to take Wendy. She's a nice lady, and I love her so much.
That's not what happened.
It was just
What he
basic.
wanted to happen.
Pretty much. He just wanted some more leverage. Wanted to keep that gambling chip. Because, Marty did ruin his life, and he wanted some more of his things back, I guess. But of course, an altercation ensues. Ooh, drama, drama, drama. Wendy has a screwdriver, sticks him in the side. Ooh, ouch, that is hurtful. And ouch, that hurts.
Not Christ-like.
Not
Yeah.
Christ-like at all. And then Marty, of course, has to pick up the gun that is dropped in the scuffle and shoots Mason, being the first person that Marty actually kills in person. Which is a pretty big moment and a pretty big turning point in the show. We are four episodes into season 3. He hasn't murked anyone else yet, but
You
I don't
you
think
never
he will.
know. That's not really his MO. He's a numbers guy. He just works behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But that like absolutely crushes him. But I think what really sells this episode for me is the performances, because holy mackerel, the guy who played Mason killed it, Laura Linney killed it, and Jason Bateman, of course, killed it. After he kills Mason, he is just like devastated. And going forward in the season, that's something that he's grappling with the whole show, or the rest of the season, pretty much. That inciting incident is what drives him to do all of the other crazy things he does in the season, which isn't unusual for a drama to have, but I think that's the crawl space of Ozark.
No, yeah, that's the exact parallel.
Yeah.
That's when the series had a tipping point. If I can bring up the meme, this is the moment Wendy became Heisenberg.
Yeah, that is the Heisenberg moment.
Yes. I was waiting for something like that to happen, and then it did happen. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's literally a Heisenberg moment. And then it changed the whole show and the
Mm-hmm.
power dynamics and just the dynamics of everything,
Yep.
which is pretty cool.
We're even getting to now in season 3. A lot of the relationships that Marty had are like kind of shifting, where he was kind of afraid of the cartel at all costs, and he's kind of being a little defiant. He's going against what his wife and what Helen Pierce really wants, and she's basically the main drug cartel's right hand man.
That's my guy.
So yeah, he's being a little defiant. There's a little bit of trouble on the home front, if you can catch my drift. A little bit of Wendy Marty fighting going on, which we will save for next week. Next week is going to be the Ozark final review, Big Mondo. Well, it's not going to be the final review because there's a 4th season coming. But of what we have so far, the Big Mondo review. So we'll save a lot of the season 3 stuff for then. But season 2, I think it was more consistent than season 1. A lot of the fat was trimmed, and I think the antagonists were a little better than Russ and Boyd. Although I do like Russ. I thought Russ was a good character. But I think Agent Petty's a cool guy, even though he got absolutely bodied. And Cade was pretty good, even though he was an abusive dad. So, yeah, good work, everybody at the Ozark Studios. But speaking of good stuff, let's talk about Drake.
Yes.
Slow down. Think we're going to get to the main event right away, an hour into this podcast? Are you kidding me?
Well,
Gotta wait until at least hour.
Hold on, I got way too much.
yeah, we got to talk about Certified Lover Boy.
I haven't had a moment in music where I am overwhelmed, but I am overwhelmed,
Uh-oh.
and it's not slowing down.
Gotta have an
So,
hour of music.
if I have a mental breakdown, like one music roundup during this month, you have to understand this is way too much for me to take in.
Yes.
Oh, that'll be good entertainment for the.
It will be great entertainment.
That's true.
I'm surprised Antoine Fantoine hasn't had a heart attack or something. But, let's first recap what is coming out in the month of September,
Okay.
or what's confirmed or allegedly confirmed.
Yes.
Casey Musgraves, Lil Nas X, Injury Reserve, Baby Keem. There's probably more that I'm forgetting.
Oh,
I know about 2 of the. Well, I know about Casey and Lil Nas X. I didn't know that Baby Keem was dropping this month.
He just tweeted that album's coming in September.
Oh, okay.
So that's not a confirmed date, but that is a confirmed time period,
Mm-hmm.
which makes sense because Baby Keem is most likely going to drop a month before Kendrick does, at least. So
Yeah. That would make sense.
that's what's confirmed. Those are all major releases, not including the 2 albums that dropped yesterday in September. You had Drake and you had Little Sims. So these are all big artists dropping in the month of September that we have confirmed at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's probably more. I'm probably missing some. I don't think Travis Scott is due to drop as well. We don't know
he
if
will
it's in
never
September.
drop.
Pusha T is also set to drop soon. No date yet. Yeah. So that's everything that's coming. JPEG Mafia also said album's coming.
That's too
So,
much.
That's too much. He did release a single, Trust, pretty good. I'm not going to spend too much time on it.
Okay.
So it's going to be overwhelming and it's going to be too much, but we will hopefully not be spending an hour on every single one because we'll be doing probably live reactions to Casey and Lil Nas X, so that should alleviate some talking.
Yes. I think that is the plan.
So look out for those. But I will run down the 4 albums that I will talk about today, and Babjab will probably have input on some of them, which is good because I need second opinions.
Okay.
All of them are over an hour long. I don't know why people decided to do this to me, but every single album I'm talking about is at least an hour.
That's good.
I'll start with Big Red Machine because I said last week that I didn't get to it because it was too long, and, but got to it this week. Pretty good. I think it is a little bloated because it's an hour and 4 minutes, but you get that mix of Bon Iver electronics and very folklore style production, since Aaron Dessner kind of does that stuff.
Yeah.
We do have another Exile type song, Birch with Taylor Swift and Justin Vernon duet.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, so that one is pretty good. Phoenix with Fleet Foxes is also a highlight. A lot of like interesting electronic folk production that you expect from Bon Iver, but also not turned up to 10 like he usually does. But a nice listen to have on in the background. This is like walking music, like walking into woods or any kind of nature walks.
I love nature walks.
Sweater music, I could call it.
Oh.
It's a very fall album.
Oh, that's good.
I've only listened to it once because, yeah,
It's an hour and 4 minutes.
it's an hour and 4 minutes, and there's too much for me to cover. But
Yeah.
what I've heard first time sounds pretty good. I like it.
Okay. Might have to check that one out.
Next, we will do. What do I want to do next?
Donda.
We'll do Little Sims next. Little Sims, UK rapper. Did Gray Area in 2019. Really good album. She's back with Sometimes I Might Be Introvert. I knew this was coming out in September. I didn't realize it was coming out yesterday. So that completely threw me off guard. But she had a tiny desk, which made me think of it because she announced the September release date in like February. I'm like, I'm not going to remember that, and I didn't. But it's an hour and 5 minutes as well. Insane production. This, if I could sell anybody on it, you get live instrumentation from To Pimp a Butterfly, you get grooves from Miseducation. Yeah, it's like a combination of those two.
Well, that sounds like my dream.
It's incredible. I haven't had enough time to sit with it. But I guess I should clarify, there are 2 albums in my top that grew into my top 5 this week. So
Holy moly.
this one is in my top 5. This is incredible.
Oh,
I recommend
no.
everybody here to listen to this immediately.
That means that Certified Lover Boy didn't make it in your top 10.
Top 5 this year.
You don't know which album I'm talking about.
I know you're talking about Donda.
No. No, I'm not
Oh.
gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh, freak.
I just wanted to create drama. But if you don't want to deal with the hour and 5 minutes, check out the Tiny Desk before. See if you dig it. I'm
No,
sure
I
you
want-
will. Live instrumentation and hip hop, and she's got such a smooth voice and lyrical. She has all the boxes ticked, and it's not just hip hop. She gets a lot of grooves and rhythms in there, and it's all over the place. It's incredible. I'm going to predict Anthony Fantano 9 or 10 on this one.
Ooh,
So
okay. Yeah, I'm
That's-
going to listen to this.
yes, it's incredible. Might get more into it later, but I'll probably save it for my end of the year where I can go more in depth on it. But I haven't had enough time to process it yet. But we'll save Donda for last just because it's tradition on this channel
Yeah.
for the past month and a half at this point. Let's talk Drizzy Drake.
Yay.
Yay, we've all been waiting for that.
I've been
So,
waiting.
for rollout information purposes, he released the official album cover during the week, which is 12 pregnant women emojis on a white background by Damien Hirst.
Do we need artist credits for putting
We do,
pregnant
because
women
Damien
emojis?
Hirst is a very, I wouldn't say influential, but very well-known designer. Actually did one of Kanye bought one of his art fixtures from him. It's like a Dove and epoxy like resin. It's really cool. He used that on Instagram when he was kind of teasing the third listening party. That's when we kind of got like new themes of what was coming for the album. So it's interesting that Damien Hirst turned around and
Did
made this monstrosity
yeah, it's
for Certified Lover Boy.
very ugly.
Worst album cover I've ever seen, easily.
I don't know about
It's
that.
awful. Well, I wasn't gonna say it's awful until I heard the music, see if it fit the music or not, but it doesn't. Um, your Certified Lover Boy as a title is already awful.
Yes.
Uh, I would have liked it if Drake would have made like a record that's fun and like sexy and not taking himself seriously, but that's not what we got. So the name and the album cover are trash.
Yes.
Um,
It would work for like a
album
Freddie
wise,
Mercury or something.
yeah,
Like that would work for. You'd have to have more suave, I think.
right. You'd have to be
Drake's
like
a little
Lil Nas
nerdy.
X. Like Lil
Yeah.
Nas X could pull this off. His
Yeah,
name
yeah.
and the cover,
Oh, for
because his
sure.
music matches it, and he's got that personality.
Yeah.
Drake doesn't.
No.
At least not on this album. But it came out an hour late. I thought it was going to come out at 1. It came out at midnight, so I listened to like the first half of it at night, which was a mistake because it put me to sleep more than I was already tired. First 2 songs were okay. I like the sample flip on the first one. Got to song 3 and I heard yeah, say that you a lesbian girl, me too, and I immediately had to just stop and go to bed.
Yeah. Someone on my Snapchat was like laughing about that bar. I was like, oh, okay. So this
And
is
the
what
song
this is
around
what
it
it's
isn't
like.
better.
No,
Yeah.
I imagine not.
No, it is not even Lil Baby could save it. God, that's such a trash song. What situation do you say that? That's
I don't know.
You just do.
He's a certified lover boy. Who are you to judge?
Then it has In the Bible next with Giveon and Lil Durk. Lil Durk had actually a pretty good verse now that I think of it. Giveon was cool. I don't know. It's just boring. I was just bored.
Wow.
This guy.
I only listened to this album once. I couldn't stand doing it twice, so I could not be remembering songs. But that one kind of was eh. Love All featuring Jay-Z. Jay-Z had a good verse. Drake didn't. Fair Trade with Travis Scott. Travis Scott carried the song. Drake put me to sleep for the first 3 minutes before Travis Scott came in. But Travis Scott killed this one, for sure.
Okay, good. That's what I like to hear.
Yes. I need Utopia whenever that's coming. Way Too Sexy.
Ooh.
The Kawhi Leonard cameo is better than anything else associated with this album.
I will say the music video is funny. I enjoyed
It
the
is
music
so out of place
video.
that I don't understand it. Like
Wait. Wait, fill me in. I don't know the
Okay,
tea.
so in the Way Too Sexy music video, apart from everything else that's happening in the music video, which I'm sure we could talk about if we
We'll
want
talk
to.
about it.
Yeah.
But they have Kawhi Leonard, who's a basketball player who was in Toronto. So Drake is like, "Oh, Toronto, I like him," and he is infamously like kind of like an awkward guy. So they have this shot where it's Drake, Future, Young Thug, and Kawhi Leonard like in the desert dancing, and then they all point to Kawhi Leonard, and he's just standing there with his hands up, like trying to figure out what to do. I can try to find a video of it.
That was great. Yeah. Oh, I
It was
actually
so
really
out of
enjoyed the
place.
music video.
Yeah.
But
Great.
Drake has made a song so bad that it's good.
Oh, okay.
Like the Tootsie Slide, get out of here. Everything else, get out of here. This song should not exist under any context, but it is so bad that it's kind of funny, and I like the sentiment of it. It actually matches the album name and the album cover. It's the only song that does that.
Huh.
But they took the Way Too Sexy for My Shirt sample and flipped it into a beat and used it throughout the entire 5-minute song.
I don't like that.
And Future does the Way Too Sexy, like the same kind of cadence for his first minute of his feature. It is ridiculous.
Yeah, that sounds a little rough.
It is so awful that it's actually kind of funny, and the music video is funny, and I like it. Not ever listening to the song again, except when it comes up on our Boy Time Stream playlist.
Oh,
you
you
know
put
that
it
one's
in the you put it in the
going- you know
playlist.
that one's going in there. It's a classic.
Yeah, of course, it's the only one you added.
Yep.
Okay.
Next 3 songs I don't remember at all.
I didn't
Yebba's
get past
Heartbreak.
Way Too
Yebba's
Sexy,
Heartbreak
so
is the
it's all
best
you.
song on the album. Because Drake isn't even on it. It's just I don't know who Yebba is, but her voice is gorgeous, and that song was gorgeous.
Okay.
No Friends in the Industry was good. Drake doing his. I like Drake when he's like talking that talk, and the beat's like nasty, and it's just braggadocious. Like, don't give me any sentimental stuff. I don't like R&B Drake. I'll go to R&B artists for it. I don't
Right.
really get the appeal, especially since Drake creeps me out as a human being. There's a
Yeah.
lot. There's a lot of sus lines on this, like a lot. But yeah, No Friends in the Industry was cool. Knife Talk was cool because 21 Savage went in and they had
Ooh.
someone from 3-6 Mafia do a hook, which was really cool. Messed with that one. 7 a.m. on Bridal Path, the Kanye diss, actually not bad.
Okay.
Addressed what he needed to address. It goes hard. Even though they're both 100% in the wrong in their respective situations, I enjoyed it. Next 4 songs I don't remember. Kid Cudi song was cool, and then the rest of the album I don't remember.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me go to my Spotify.
So what
I
you're
saved 6 songs out of 21.
Wow, that's actually more than I expected.
Not like I'm gonna listen to them a whole lot, but
Yeah.
like I usually when I do album first listens, I'll heart whatever ones kind of stand out.
Okay.
But the rest of the songs are so unforgettable and boring that I just didn't even remember them.
Oh, okay.
Um,
So what I'm hearing is that you're gonna give this like, I don't know, like a light to medium, like 8 or something, like a 9.
yeah, for sure. I'm
Yeah.
thinking like a light to a light 2 to a strong 3 on this Drake album trend.
Really?
I feel like I like Scorpion more. I don't know if
Oh.
yeah. The whole build up to this, and you don't even have Laugh Now Cry Later, which was the best like teaser you could do for this album, and you don't even include it. Scary Hours 2 was better than this album. And that is 3 songs on it.
That's
Am I justified in this take?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't remember like any.
Okay, so I probably am.
Yeah. I did not make it past Way Too Sexy.
I don't
Because I might come back later, but I couldn't. I don't want to say I couldn't handle it, but I'm like, okay, bro, like whatever.
It is so incredibly mediocre that it doesn't even like have a lifeline.
Part of me like respects what he's trying to do, like trying to do something different, but the other half of me is kind of what you said. It's just kind of creepy at some points.
Yeah,
Like literally,
that's the only song that's
34-year-old
different.
man making an album with a cover art like that.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah,
It's a little uncomfy.
It's creepy, it's uncomfy, but Way Too Sexy is, I give that song props because it is the only like different song that I heard. Everything else just sounds like every other Drake song I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I guess that's why he gets radio play and whatever, and that's why, but I don't see why people are, well, a lot of people were kind of bashing it. Some people were hyping it up, but those are just Drake fans and they don't listen to hip hop usually.
Yeah, I was saying some people call this album of the year, and I was like, I
this thing
don't
is
know.
awful.
Absolutely.
Garbage.
I don't know about that.
Scary Hours 2 was better and more consistent. And
Yeah.
I liked all the Scary Hours 2 songs. They were, those are quality Drake to me.
Even the 2Z Slide?
No, the 2C Slide wasn't.
I'm never letting him off the hook.
Drake didn't do any cringy culture vulture accents on this album.
Oh, that's good.
Maybe that put me to sleep more, that I didn't have to be like, why is he trying to be Jamaican or why is he having a British accent? None of that. So that's good, I guess.
Trying to be 21 Savage.
I'm trying to like figure out, I'm trying to figure out why this man still has a career, to be honest.
I don't know.
Because he makes inoffensive music that doesn't take.
He does,
much
but
to,
I'm offended by this album because it's so boring that I wish there was something more to it.
But he makes music for people who don't put much thought into what they're listening to, like you do.
Yeah. No, this is perfect. Like when you walk into like a shoe store and they're playing music, like I could bump to this if it's like in the
264
background and
trap.
I'm not listening to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Drake music is best heard from a car driving by on full volume.
Unless it's Passion Fruit, that sounds good, and I'll die on that hill.
Passion Fruit's good. I mean, One Dance is awful. Passion Fruit's good. Marvin's Room's good. I like Jumpman because it's stupid. Yeah, I don't know. This is just so incredibly like, for how hyped up this is like the biggest letdown, even though I wasn't expecting anything.
Yeah, that is a scathing album review.
I haven't done one of those since
No.
the big day. I was waiting.
It's been
Like,
a
something's
while.
got to be so bad that I have to talk about it.
And of course, it's
Chance
the
is
album.
gonna have the comeback of the century, though.
No, Chance is gonna. Yeah, I have full faith in Chance.
Really?
He just took a slight
Yeah.
detour. Have you
Yeah,
heard
he's
Coloring Book?
released like a freestyle or two on YouTube, and they've both been good. I have faith in him. I think he just had a major, major like wake up moment. I hope
I don't know.
Ball and Clausen.
that's probably copious
No.
because
Well, have you heard Coloring Book?
No, I haven't
He
heard
hasn't heard
any.
He
I've
hasn't
just
heard
heard the
any.
big day.
yeah,
Okay.
this man has a lot of potential still.
I think you did put that on the list of things to react to, though, right?
We both have it on our list.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think I might have taken it off since Babby had it on there already, but I could probably.
Oh,
put
we
that
should
on
double
my
up
too.
on it. Yeah,
I'll listen
yeah.
to it. I'm just saying,
I
like,
like Chance.
as it stands right now, with his last project being one of the worst albums ever.
Ever.
I didn't want to be too forward.
No, yeah. No, I love Coloring Book and Acid Rap, and 10 Days pretty good as well. I think he just had a major, like, I don't know. Maybe it's an ego thing. Who knows? This is as uninspired as The Big Day, probably, because Drake just has a formula and sticks to it. That's annoying, and I hate it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
The best song Drake dropped was Life of the Party. So.
that was Andre and Kanye.
Yeah, he dropped it, though, so.
I guess.
Best song he's ever made.
Okay.
Yeah. So that'll be my one negative review of the year, probably. I hope, at least.
Yeah, you don't usually do that.
Not gonna lie, it's kind of fun to bash things.
Yeah,
But,
see, this
I mean,
is
it
where
has to
I
be
come
someone
from.
like Drake to bash, because usually I find artistic credibility in a lot of like this stuff I review, so I don't go hard because I know artists try to go after a certain message and everything. But this just feels like literal, just like mediocre. We'll just put it out and then make money off of it and break all streaming records and not care, because this music is super uninspired.
Yeah.
And it's Drake, and a lot of it is talking about like certified lover boy stuff when he's 34 and has had several allegations of grooming young women, and it just comes off very creepy,
Yeah.
and I can't overlook that. Just like many critics can't overlook Donda and Kanye's stuff that he
There
did
it
2
is.
years ago. Most of the news articles that reviewed Donda 2 days after it came out gave it pretty scathing reviews, not talking about the music and just talking about Kanye in a red hat from 2 years ago. Yay! But Kanye released the album literally like 5 hours after we recorded, or like 12 hours after we recorded last week's podcast.
Yeah, that was a little unfortunate
Which,
timing.
good timing.
Mhm.
It has 27 songs, and it is an hour and like 48 minutes. Thank you, Pep. Jeb just posted the reference picture of Donda getting a 6 on Pitchfork, and Peppa's Adventures, Peppa Pig's album, getting a 6.5.
Hey, I mean, who's
I
doing?
love it.
No one really disagrees with
Look, don't be
Pitchfork.
sleeping on Peppa Pig.
I'm not. I didn't say anything.
Yeah, no, she's got shooters.
Unironically better than Donna, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Literally.
Donna.
Donna.
But released at 8 a.m. on a Sunday.
Yep.
That's Christ-like right there.
That is Christ.
Speaking of Christ-like, the album is censored, despite the listening parties being uncensored.
Wait, it's censored?
It is.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Last minute change, I guess. All the changes I talked about on the last podcast, taking the baby off, adding Kid Cudi back, all of that did happen. So
Yeah.
good job.
Kind of.
The baby's on part 2, but
Yeah.
I skipped that song because it's trash. But putting Kid Cudi back on Moon, best decision ever. I feel like he did that just to lower people's expectations and then like get him guessing because it's Kanye and he loves reactions.
Mhm.
And then put him back on. So good. I had to get used to track listing because I did the stupid thing and listened to Listening Party 2 and fell in love with it. And then when that album came out with different sequencing, I was like, what is this? But second listen, that all went away. I think I'm not going to count part 2s. Out of 23 songs, I like probably 20 of them. Pop Smoke song doesn't need to be here. Again,
Nope.
get rid of it. New Again, I don't like. And Junior confuses me because I like Junior, but I also hate Junior. Some days I'm like, yeah, this bops, and other days I'm like, no. So I'm undecided on that song. So 21 songs, 20 and a half, I'll say.
Okay.
But yeah, Television I don't like. New Again I don't like. I've tried New Again, and it's
Yeah.
graduation-esque, but it's like not really what I'm looking for.
So you're including Donda Chant as one that you're liking?
Yes, I do like Donda Chant.
Okay. Just clarifying.
Yes, and I do like that it is now the album opener. Donda title
Yes.
track used to be the opener, and it used to have a verse from Kanye and Pusha T going back and forth. So I hope we get a part 2 of that. That would be cool. I want to hear that again. I mean, I still have the file I can listen to, but I'd like to be studio quality. But I like Donda Chant being the opener, and I like Jail following it. Jail's like a really, really good opening song. Love that song. I didn't like it at the listening parties, but once you get like the studio quality and that guitar comes in, it's just ooh, it's good. And I like Jay-Z's verse now because I can actually understand it.
Right.
So yeah, Jail's fantastic. Basically from Jail all the way to like, I would say Jail to Jonah, like through Jonah is like an amazing run. OK's okay.
Ha!
Julia, I like or don't like, but then Believe What I Say is incredible. 24 is amazing. The Globble Globble Glob made it on remote control.
Donkey the Goat.
The Goat. But he cut it down to like 5 seconds. So it wasn't like the awkward 35 seconds.
Yeah, it was a little long in the listening party.
Yeah, but he cut it, and I like it. It's, whatever. It's Kanye. He's going to be goofy. But overall, I am like in love with this, and I was surprised that people were very like mixed on it. Like I was seeing a lot of just like trash, young boy better, which is just trolls. But I was seeing a lot of people just being like, I don't know. But I think I've found out why. I've been trying to put it in perspective because I have been listening to all the listening parties, and I've kind of got the feel for it. But there is like no drums on over 10 songs of this album. It's very ambient, which I like, but I see how that can be like thrown off. But it's incredibly minimalist. It's very minimal in production, but it doesn't hold it back at all. I think minimal really helps it. I like the blacked out album cover. I think it perfectly fits the music. It's very desolate, airy, spacey, dark, only until like there's like a kind of, I don't know if it's like a 2-act, but it kind of like as soon as 24 hits, the album starts getting a lot brighter. But those first like 10 tracks or 9 tracks are like very demonic, but they're also like some of the best bangers of the year. Off the Grid, third listening party, as soon as 504 finished his verse and then Kanye came back in, I was blown away. Incredible verse. 504 probably has one of the best features on the album. Insane. That beat goes from a trap beat for Playboy Cardi to do his thing on, and then transitions into a drill beat. Just nuts. Hurricane's amazing. We all know this.
I know that.
It just gets better. This album gets better with every listen, actually. But yeah, this thing is easily in my top 5 as well. I was scared for the Fantano review, but I will say Fantano's review of this album is probably the best like Kanye review he's done, I would say. Like I definitely understood everything he was talking about in that review. So that is a fantastic review, and I don't know how someone could put that together in that short of time. But
what did he give it?
7.
Okay.
I was expecting a 5.
Yeah.
I'm very happy with a 7, and I think it will grow on people. I think with, like every Kanye album, this will grow. I remember when Life of Pablo came out, and everybody was kind of bashing it, but then now it's regarded as one of his best. So
I like Father Stretch My Hands.
Yeah.
I like that song.
I haven't gotten into Life of Pablo until like this last month, since I've been doing the Kanye deep dive during this insane rollout that's just incredibly long. And I didn't realize how great it was until that point. I think this is like comparable to it quite a bit. Yeah. It's not as like crazy, but I don't know. Production on here is amazing. Kanye's best rapping since probably Pablo. Although Ye, he kind of did his thing. I'm just not the biggest fan of Ye.
Yeah.
But incredible, beautiful, beautiful songs with 24 and Moon, Come to Life, No Child Left Behind, Pure Souls, just banger after banger.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why people aren't liking it more, but I think it's just going to take time. I would put this kind of even with Pablo. I'm not trying to rank him like objectively, but I feel like for me, Pablo and this one are like interchangeable because I like both a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm getting thematic things now. Now that the structure is set and we're good, and I don't have to worry about sequencing or storytelling. This is the final. Well, I won't ever say final with the Kanye record. This is the final as we know of track listing and sequencing, and it works very well. Kind of goes from dark to light. I think people were upset because they expected it just be a whole hour and 20-minute tribute album. But knowing Kanye, it's always a self-portrait, and it's a self-portrait of finding his place after losing his mother, his biggest supporter, and now losing Kim, his other biggest supporter. Feeling alone, you can feel that on the first half of the album. It's very desolate. He seems lost. He seems aggressive. And then kind of believe what I say in 24, bring that back, finding God as his new, like, kind of anchor, since Kim and Donda are not there with him. And kind of, you really get emotion and, like, the most human Kanye I think we've ever gotten in the last part of the album. And it's absolutely beautiful. And I don't know why more people aren't talking about it. Probably because people haven't gotten through this long album yet.
Yeah.
Because it is long and it's a chore. But I've listened to it full through probably 5 times this week. I'm just loving it.
Mm-hmm.
But Jesus Lord's amazing. I could praise this thing for days, but
Yeah.
in my top 5.
I fully expected that.
Yeah.
I still haven't listened to it yet. I was there for the third listening party. I know that there's been a number of changes since that, but I don't know. Every time I look at it on Spotify, I see that an hour and 48-minute
Yeah.
runtime. It's like, man, I have stuff to do. I feel like this is one that I really have to like sit
It
down.
needs attention too, so it's like it's hard.
Yeah. That being said, I have been listening to Hurricane and is Praise God the Lauryn Hill one?
No.
That's
Praise
weird.
God's a banger. But believe what I say.
Believe what I say. I've been listening to those 2 songs.
Mm-hmm.
They've been pretty good. I think, I think one of the other things that is discouraging me is that G-Dang album cover. I am not a fan of it at all. I think anytime anyone does any flat colors, it is a detriment, and I think that is just a lazy cop-out. And every time I see it, I'm like, Kanye, come on, just do something. Anything would have been better than just black. I didn't like it when Childish Gambino did it. I certainly didn't like it when James Taylor did it.
Technically, that's not white. There is 31520 written on there, but it's just in light gray.
I mean, yeah. That's just my piece on that.
mean, I like it. It's in memoriam. It's a serious tone setter.
Yeah.
It's open. It's desolate. It's bleak. It's staring into a void.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a digital piece of art that's a memoriam. So this kind of just black squares more stands out than a regular album cover in many ways. And through the 3 listening parties and the different visuals we've gotten through there, Kanye covering his face, wearing all black, doing all this, it seems very intentional to just have a black album cover.
I could see that, yeah.
Yeah. But once again, this is someone who's followed the rollout. So if you're just a casual Kanye fan and you're looking at an hour and 8 minutes and a black album cover and no features listed, this is a major turnoff for casual fans. But it's not for it. I don't know if it is or not. Kanye doesn't care about his fans, about sales, about anything.
No.
Since he's a billionaire, he can have his artistic vision come to life no matter how much money it costs, and he doesn't have to worry about making money.
Mm-hmm.
So he can have his truest form of art in whatever way he wants to come out.
Yeah. I'm all for that. I'm just, I'm not really into the whole artsy fartsy scene in general.
And this is a very artsy album.
Yes. I got that from the listening party.
Yeah.
So I'm sure if I listened to it, there would be stuff that I liked, but I'm not the biggest Kanye fan in general. So
I
like,
could probably cut down songs enough for you to be like, okay, listen to these in order.
honestly, that might help.
Yeah.
I would be more willing
a
to
lot
sit down and cut some of the stuff I know that I don't like. I like Moon. I think you did put that in the
Moon is gorgeous. Yeah.
in the stream playlist, and that came on. I was like, oh frick! I forgot how much I liked that song from the listening party.
And you never heard it with Kid Cudi on it either, so
No,
yeah.
that's a good song.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. It's one of those musical moments that happen once a year where it's like the end of Pure Souls. They added that one chick who was on the porch with him. I shouldn't say it, I think.
yeah,
She did a refrain at the end of Pure Souls, and then Into Come to Life and Into No Child Left Behind is some of the most beautiful music I think I've ever heard in my life. It's like that is like a transcendent moment. That is like the rise out of Mercedes-Benz Stadium type thing.
yeah,
Like incredible, but
yeah. I'm sure that this thing is great.
it's just incredibly dense.
Yeah, I can see it definitely being a turnoff for some people.
For sure.
But I was just surprised when I was like, talking to some of my friends from Savannah. One of them is a dedicated Ye head. Like, I think probably like one of the biggest Kanye fans I've ever met personally. Not one of. He is.
He is,
Like, so much so that when Jesus is King came out, he was like, that was a good album. And like defended it for like 2 weeks straight. And then he was like, okay, it wasn't that good. But like,
There's songs on there that are okay. But
what's that one? Is it Follow God?
Follow God, and I also like Selah
Okay.
or Selah or
Closed
however you
on
say it.
Sundays.
No. Follow God
I
is
like
actually
the live
like really
version
great.
of Closed on Sundays, like the music video version. But
No, I don't know if I've seen that.
they added like the choir to it, and it sounded good. But
I was just saying, he absolutely loves every Kanye project. I don't think there is one thing that he doesn't like. I think Jesus is King is just at the bottom of the list, but it's still something that he would consider quality. And he was talking about Donda just being like, it's fine. Like, whoa, you didn't even talk about Jesus is King just being, it's fine until like a couple weeks. And
I think he needs time.
I think it will, but he
I
hasn't
think-
even finished it. It's like,
I connected with this album immediately, which I think is something that not a lot of people got, unless you're like in tune. But I think the ambientness, like going from Donda Chant, which is just Donda over and over again, into Jail, a song with no drums and one guitar riff and some synths, then going into God Breathed, which is a 5.5 minute, like, I don't even know what to describe that song as.
God,
It's like
breathe
an
on this.
experience that's just ambient. There's nothing happening really. It's just like this driving bass line. I want to highlight Vori because Vori is made for this album, and I don't know who this guy is, but he's amazing. Yeah, but that might be a turn off, like the first 3 songs. But Off the Grid is, oh my god.
Yeah, I know there's like stuff in here that is like really quality and stuff.
I think he just needs time with it, and he needs to sit with it.
Yeah.
Because this is probably the hardest Kanye album for someone to get into.
Yeah.
I mean, ever since Yeezus, reviews have been polarizing, and it's been polarizing albums. But I mean, this one is something else, just in terms of scale.
Oh, for sure. I'm not disputing you on that.
Yeah. So I think he just needs no more time with it. I think if he keeps at it, it'll get there. I had to do that with Pablo, and now that it's there, I'm like, I love Pablo.
And Pablo's his favorite. So all of these comparisons.
It's so weird that he won't even like
Yeah.
get through this one then.
I know.
I feel like the highlights on Pablo are pretty big, but I think this one is too. So
Yeah.
it's just Pablo's a lot more. This was like before the tour where you got hospitalized for overworking and mental illness.
Yeah.
So you get that insane Kanye on Pablo.
Yeah. That has its own appeal. I guess.
It does. Well, it's like a Breaking Bad level character portrait, that album is,
Okay.
to put it lightly. But except it's a real person, so there's another element added there.
Yeah.
But that's like deep into Pablo. Music wise, it's more accessible, surprisingly, even though you have something like Feedback and like just putting Panda on the back of a song.
Yeah.
I like how he sampled that before the song was even released.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then Designer got signed and did nothing.
Yeah.
Poor Designer.
Yeah, but In my top 5, I think it would go Twisted Fantasy, Yeezus, College Dropout, Late Registration, Donda / Pablo, and then, I think every Kanye album is great except for Jesus is King because it's trash.
It is bad.
And I don't like Ye sonically, but Ye as a moment in music is definitely significant.
Huh. Yeah. We need to talk about Andre.
Oh, yes. I forgot about the news aspect of this.
Yeah.
Kanye has been in Berlin for the past week. He did a little vacation after the album release. He's been talking with reporters and he's been getting a paparazzi experience that isn't toxic to him, which is
That's
not
good.
something he gets very often. He's actually able to
Morning,
talk to
Kanye.
reporters. Morning, Kanye. Yeah, Kanye has a very bad relationship with American paparazzi, as he should, because they're trash.
Yep.
But with German paparazzi, they've been covering him on the news positively, which is something the American news doesn't do either. Really just sitting down with reporters, visiting art exhibits, and he's been teasing songs, and his team's been teasing songs. Life of the Party featuring Andre 3000 was teased on the news 2 days ago in Germany. We've kind of been talking about it. We're also missing, there was another commercial, I don't know if any of you remember this, that was around the second listening party that had that Glory song with Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg on it in the commercial for 60 seconds.
Yeah.
That one's nowhere to be found. So with the Yeezy stem player, you can kind of customize all of the Donda songs, and they're shipping it with Donda, but they're not shipping it yet, even though the album's out. We're expecting either a deluxe or something, because Life of the Party with Andre, Glory with Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre. There's also rumors of Donda Part 2 with Pusha T. So there could be more coming.
Yeah.
Which, if that happens, then this is gonna have to fist fight Haram to take it. We're already very close, but that might be the knockout blow if Andre releases officially.
Yeah.
And I did listen to it.
I did too.
Really fantastic. Andre's
Yes.
verse is amazing. Andre 3000, best rapper alive next to Kendrick Lamar.
I think that is true.
But Kanye changed his verse into a Drake this kind of braggadocio verse, which is out of place.
Yeah.
But Drake is the one who leaked this at 2 a.m. last night. Best song Drake's ever released. I don't know how he got this thing.
Yeah. So questionable.
But Life of the Party was played. Tyler, the creator, posted an Instagram story while making this song, or in the studio with Kanye. And the Life of the Party was the song that was playing in the background. And then they played it at the Las Vegas listening party in July. And Kanye had a different verse, a very different verse, and it added to the album. So my theory is that Kanye re-recorded this, and then I don't know how it would have gotten into Drake's hands, but crazier things have happened. I'm still not even sure if this beef is real. This could just be marketing again, even though it seems like they hate each other based off of what Drake was saying.
Yeah.
On Certified Lover Boy. But my theory is that once the song is ready, it'll be released, and it will have the original Kanye verse from Las Vegas and then Andre, because that would fit with the theme.
Oh, hopefully.
But, yeah. Andre posted a response because, God,
Yeah.
it's so trashy that Andre even had to respond. Don't pull this man into this.
Yeah.
He just wants to play his flute.
Yeah.
But he just responded saying it got taken off because it's a clean album, and I didn't realize that. And it's just unfortunate, which I get. His verse did go into things that are not Christ-like. Even though there wasn't a lot of swearing, there's probably not a way to cut that down for Kanye's album.
Yeah.
Which maybe he can re-record it. Maybe something can happen. I don't know. I hope the song comes out because Andre's verse is amazing.
Yeah.
And the instrumental's great. And Kanye did great, even with the diss bars. But it didn't sound done either because he had one of those mumble verses at the end.
Yeah.
Because that's what Kanye does for reference tracks.
Mm-hmm.
So it might not even be done, probably.
Probably not.
So hopefully we get that because I need that song. But I mean, I'm at the point where the album's out, so I'm not going to be following it as closely. If it comes out, cool. If not, I'll just try to forget about it as much as I can.
Mm-hmm.
I hope not, though. But Andre said he'd love to work with people. He named Tyler Little Baby, Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, which is also exciting because
That would be
Andre
awesome.
verses are always highlights on every album that he's on.
Man,
I
I
feel
can't
like
imagine Andre and Kendrick. That would
an
like
Andre
be the
and Kendrick
best
song would
song
just-
ever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's been long overdue. I'm surprised they haven't. Like, because they've mentioned each other in interviews constantly since Kendrick came out, and it's never happened.
Just do it.
Just do it. If
Put it on-
Kanye can get Andre on to sing 30 hours on 30 hours and do nothing else, then you can get on a Kendrick Lamar song.
Yeah.
No excuses. Only if you want to, but
No,
Tyler
do
the
it.
Creator and Andre song would be nuts too.
Oh, that's true. That would go hard in the paint, as the kids say.
Tyler production and Andre, hard in the paint, as they say. But yeah, we're in August. I have 30 albums written down because I kind of put them on paper just so I don't forget before this insane month.
Yeah.
Got 30 albums done. Trying to get it down to a top 50 by the end of the year, but
Yeah, we got a lot coming up.
got a lot.
I'm very excited for what's around the corner. God,
September is probably going to be the best month, honestly.
hopefully.
Just old Nas X has an album of the year contender, and it's not even out yet.
I think
Casey's
he might
probably
be.
gonna have an album of the year contender too. So
Yeah. Man, I like this is the one part of the year where it's like, okay, Silk Sonic, yeah, you can stay in January.
yeah,
That's
I actually
fine.
don't need you.
That's
Yeah.
fine. We got stuff. Even though I'm sure that's also gonna be great, but like
Oh, it will be, but
Lil
at
Nas
this point,
X,
keep it.
nah, I don't know if it could like beat Lil Nas X in the Grammys.
Well, Nas X is gonna drop something really good.
Yeah.
Every single's been a banger.
Yeah, I mean, it's like almost inspiring too, because it's like a Lauryn Hill situation where he's been like pregnant this whole time.
It's
as
true. He's been pregnant this whole time, and if he hits the high note, it's over.
Yeah,
you know?
that's true. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe in the Industry Baby remix, he might go into those whistle notes.
While 9 months pregnant.
Yeah, that would be so.
He is
Crazy.
supposed to have the baby on the day the album comes out, which is kind of like strange how they line that up. But
They must have choreographed it.
yeah, that must be. Yeah, but I also forgot James Blake was supposed to drop this month, but he pushed it back to October, which I'm good with. 'cause
Yeah,
there's too much.
we got stuff. We're good.
James Blake is really good as well, so there's too much. There's way too much.
I agree. Let's just slow down after this, huh?
Let's slow down. Wait, I mean, I have the biggest Kanye album ever to digest, and I'm not even gonna have enough time to do that.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
And Little Sims. Little Sims is also an hour, and I need to digest that as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna listen to that tomorrow, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, so expect good things happening.
Casey's gonna drop this weekend.
Yep,
You coward.
it's gonna be
Well,
great.
not you coward.
It's confirmed. It's,
You can watch our video.
yes,
soon
watch our
after.
live reaction to that one,
Holy moly.
premiering Saturday,
Oh, okay.
the 11th, I think. Right?
I don't
yes.
know.
The 11th.
Yes. A week from today as we're recording it.
Yes.
That's
Be
not
back in editor mode for me a year ago. Just like recording a first reaction to a new album and then having to edit it immediately and put it up.
well. Hopefully we don't have to do that regularly.
No, I feel like September is the big dog.
Yeah.
And Kendrick first reaction, don't know if that's happening just because.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know if I'm probably not gonna listen to that the first night. I want to be cognizant.
Yeah, you got to be like in that. I'm just gonna do like 2 lines of cocaine before it starts.
Okay.
And I'm good because I need to listen to it at 11 p.m. when it comes out. I've been waiting too long for this.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
There has been some rumors that he's submitted like 6 songs to like BMI or whatever that that's copyright things. So he's getting them copyrighted.
Oh, okay. So
Song
it's-
titles are very interesting. I don't know them off the top of my head, but they are very 5-head 200 IQ song titles.
Are
It
they in
seems
all
like.
caps? Like, damn.
They're not in all caps with a period and Times New Roman. So
Oh, that's unfortunate. I was hoping for damn too.
yeah, me too. And then all the song titles are just backwards, but have a 2 after them.
Ooh, that is
Humbled.
humble.
I'm still waiting for Nation.
What is nation?
It was supposed to be, not supposed to be. It became a rumor as soon as Damn came out. People were saying that there was going to be a second album that came out on that Sunday. That was Nation, so it was Damn Nation. That was complete cap, but people are just make fun of it now.
Oh. Yeah, it's probably coming though.
Yeah. PSA: appreciate albums, something new to come out directly after. Damn's a classic.
Yeah.
Just listen to that.
My favorite Kendrick Lamar line is Obama just paged me.
Yes. I hope this Oklahoma name is just a play on Obama.
My name is Barack Oklahoma.
Brother.
Brother. Yeah, please do more of that redneck.
I love it.
Actually, don't. Don't do
We need a Baby Keem and Kendrick Lamar collab album too.
Kids
That would
see
set my
Baby
house on fire.
Keem.
I'd have to rob myself when that comes out. Baby Keem is when that album comes out, I'm gonna be
Well, hopefully it comes out
Killing
tomorrow.
yeah, hopefully. But also play Donda on speakers or in the car.
What?
'Cause, my God, that's one of the albums that are just better on speakers.
Better than headphones?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I'll play
The
it on
bass
my
is just
TV.
insane. Yeah, play it on your TV.
You said it's better
Play
on
it on my
speakers.
Go to your
Amazon.
nearest J.C. Penney and request that they play Donda throughout the store because nobody will be shopping anyways because of the J.C. Penney.
It is clean.
It is clean, yeah. This is literal like playing off the grid for your parents because there's no swearing in it, and then they just get scared.
Yeah. Well,
Also, Playboy Cardi just announced that he's going to be dropping an album soon, I think too.
holy moly.
Yeah,
Probably
I'm
next
just
month.
remembering these.
Right all over.
If you think about it, if Playboy Cardi dropped this, it would be Playboy Cardi 3.